John here with some thoughts and perspectives. Um, Topic for today, balance. Balance in all things. This is a thought that actually pervades most everything I do. It it guides me in my decisions. It encourages me in my choices. It has an effect on pretty much everything I do. Now, balance isn't a new concept. The Tao refers to living a life of balance, but their concept of Wu-Wei has more to do with not getting involved and letting things take care of themselves. That's not the kind of balance I mean. I mean balancing out what you do. I'm more along the lines of the yin-yang, if you know the circular symbol, both feeding into each other, and one being push, one being pull, and there's a continual balance between the two. And that is the balance that I mostly refer to. So, and you have to understand that there's a lot of subtleties in the terms, like moderation. You can say moderation is balance. But in truth, moderation means middle. I mean, it means to always come back to middle. Balance, it also means come back to middle, but it means to have an even amount of things. So moderation mostly means stay in the middle, and balance means you can go one way, but you have to go the other way to balance things out. So you can have balance and still be dynamic. You can have highs as long as you have the lows to balance them out. And in general, yeah, some moderation and keep you closer to the middle is a reasonably healthy thing, but if you're going to live, you should have some dynamic in your life. If you're going to have some calm, you should also have some reckless abandon. Balance these things. So the kinds of things, topics for balance: mind, body, spirit. And that's three. How do you balance three things? Well, you kind of have an even application of all three. If you're always thinking, if you're always intellectual, you have to do some practical. I mean, if you're always thinking, always studying, you got to get out and do something physical. And if you're always spiritual and you're always enlightened, you darn well need to do something intellectual and do something practical with your body. Mind, body, and spirit. You have to balance these things. Rest, activity. When you get out of balance, you have too much rest, basically you're lazy. Your body will suffer. Activity. If you get too much activity, your body will suffer also. Amenorrhea. Women will stop having their menstrual cycles if they're too active. Balance. Rest versus activity. Balance the two. Being inside, working in a job, you need to get your butt outside and get some outside time. If you're always outside, you need to get some inside time. Balance, inside, outside, that kind of thing. Now, the deal is, according to your personality type, you may have certain preferences. So, some people are people. I'm not a people person. I work in a hospital, they pay me to be nice. I mean, I wear the hat that I need to wear for the role that I'm in. When I'm caring for people in a hospital setting, I'm a people person. I mean, and it's not fake, it's actually a hat that I'm wearing. It's a role that I'm fulfilling. But I'm not a people person. So for me, if I had my druthers, I would rather spend my time in isolation without people. That would be off balance. Balance your solitude, balance your alone time with people time, with social time. You have to have a balance between things. Some people, I have hard to imagine that some people are such people that they're with people and they're socializing all the time and they just don't have any solitude. But those particular people need to take a step back and have a little solitude, have a little time alone. It will feel freaky to them, but they need it. They need balance in their lives, kind of thing. My son recently posted a post about Stoicism. And to my understanding, Stoicism as explained to a child, is you might feel something, but you don't show it. You don't get too happy, you don't get too sad. There's a song, don't cry out loud. Just keep it inside, don't let your feeling, it's a song. And basically the song describes stoicism. It also describes bottling up your feelings. So, yeah, stoicism has its place. You have basically control of your reactions in this world, and controlling your reactions is a very good thing as a tool. On the other side, you need to express your passion. If you're always expressing your passion, you need a little stoicism. You need balance between things, and balance between the opposites. And that doesn't mean to not go off in one extreme, but have the other extreme at your disposal. A whole different concept is moderation, and that has to do with trying to keep close to the center. What I'm saying is balance. You can go in an extreme, but have the other extreme in your life also, and find balance between the two, a healthy balance. And this isn't just about what you're doing now. I mean, for example, financial world, retirement. Well, if you are taking all your money and blowing it now, you perhaps need a balance between that and setting a little aside for retirement. And if you're at the point where you're putting all your money into retirement and you don't have a penny left over to actually live now, you're also out of balance. Find the balance. Balance between what you're doing now and what you're able to do later. Put some in retirement, yeah. Have some left over to live on. Find a balance. As I said, this pervades most of my life decisions, a lot of my thoughts, and balance in all things. And to be ironic, you even have to have balance in your balance. I mean, if you are always balanced, then you're not taking time to spend some time unbalanced. Give yourself that leeway. If you have some period of time where you're going to be unbalanced and go in extremes in one direction and not have balance in your life, go with it. In the meantime, when it's time to balance that, to balance the equation, go back and have extra balance. Be a little more balanced in your life. And I'm not saying do extremes all the time. I'm not promoting the extremes. What I'm saying is whatever you do, find the opposite to balance it. Find balance. When you're off balance, things get rough. In a movie, I think it was called The Day After Tomorrow, and it was about climate change. And the essence of the story was global warming dissolved the polar caps, the water diluted, and it broke up the actual current flow, which pumped the warm air from the equator. Big freeze came, big storm came. And the thing that I take from this, though, is they mentioned that the essence of a storm is an imbalance. And the storm will persist until the balance has been found. So if you find your life is basically a storm, look for balance. And you will have storms, but you will also have calm. But the balance that you find will ultimately help you lessen the storms, assuage the storms, basically satisfy the needs of the storm. That balance will come if you look for it. Make your choices, make your decisions. And as my son said recently in a video, if you don't like the decisions you make different decisions. Find balance and enjoy that. And realize that balance isn't boring. And I'm not talking moderation. Moderation is a whole different goal. And that can be a little boring, honestly. I'm a very passionate person. I tend to temper that with trying to maintain control of my reactions, because that's the only thing we truly control is our own reactions to what's happening to us and around us. Can't control anybody else. We can barely control ourselves, but we can control our reactions when able. But I do allow my